Hi, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies, and today we're going to do some more harvesting. Today we're going to do some more harvesting of potatoes, tomatoes, and pumpkins. So in my jungle garden I do have some volunteer potato plants that have died off. I know where they were, but I'm a little late getting them out of the ground here. In my hugelkultur bed, I have a potato plant that has also died off, that the vine is still there, hasn't rotted away. In the main garden, at the other end in the corner, across from my hugelkultur bed, I have a potato plant that's still green. In fact, it was still flowering until a week ago. So that one we'll leave for another day, but I'll just show you how I harvest my potatoes, and then we'll go on to get my tomatoes and some of the pumpkins and see how many we get. So what I do for potatoes, I have this basket. I'm gonna take out some of the straw. What I'm doing is I'm gonna have a little bit of a straw base down in the bottom. It helps with airflow. And I'm going to put the potatoes in there in a layer, and then I'll add the straw back on top of that, and then layer another layer of potatoes in there. And the reason why I do that is because they need to be stored in a cool, dry, dark space, and the straw just helps keep the air circulation going, but also keeps them dry. We're going to put this in the basement, so it'll be cool down there all winter. So I have this volunteer tomatillo plant that is got some giant tomatillos on it, so I might have to go and harvest some of those, or tomatillos, depending on if you're speaking Spanish, I guess. I'd never learned it. And I know somewhere in here we had a potato plant right in here somewhere. Here's one. Getting potatoes right from here. This is really loose ground because all we did is we've been adding more leaf mulch on top. So just grab these. So we're going to grab them, brush them off a little bit, and then just stick them in the basket. And that's a nice big one. That big one might actually go back into the ground somewhere else. But just make sure we have all of them. There's that old plant. Okay, I may have gotten all of them from that spot. And again, these are volunteers. I did not plant these, so I didn't even really take care of them all season. I'll have to come back for some tomatillos from here, because these are definitely finishing up here, because it's been a little cooler at night, and you can see the leaves are not really liking the cool air, although there's still a flower. So there's a couple of flowers. Now again, that's a volunteer as well, so whatever we get is great. In fact, all of this, tomatoes are going nuts, so I'll have to come back for some of those as well. But let's go for the potatoes first. Okay, over here we have some more potatoes. So I'm going to leave a layer in between my potatoes. And right here you can see the dead plant. It's quite a large plant. Of course, I just broke it, but it's going down under here. And you can see the potatoes growing under the mulch. And these are a purple potato. I had some fingerlings that I put in the ground. So they're usually a little bit smaller, but you could tell they could get bigger. That is a fruit from the potato plant. So not edible, but kind of interesting. Wonder what would happen if I left it under the ground. If it would sprout a new plant, or if it'd take a couple years. Never tried. Why not? Let's experiment. yellow skin potato. And one thing I don't want to do is I don't want these to get too crowded. So I'm going to put another layer of straw on top, and then we'll add more. Okay, so that should keep our layers aerated. This little plant down here is edible. It's actually got a nice tart, like sourness to it. It's cool. It's a nice little refreshing snack. But my hands are really dirty, so I'm not gonna pull it right now. Basically, right above my spearmint, we got more coming out of the ground here. This basket is probably maybe half full. And then I think there may be one other potato plant I missed that has it's died back, so it's going to be hard to tell where exactly it is. But I believe we had one over here. Again, a self-planted, or last year's potato. Yeah, right here. It's died back, but I think we might be able to get some more. Okay, looks like we only got 2 off of that one. But considering it's a volunteer, 2 that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't let that plant grow. Silky babies are out. What'd you find? You don't want to eat a cork. How'd that get in your area, huh? Gus, you have a cork in your mouth. Is that to keep you quiet? These geese find anything to play with. Let's get the cork out of there so you don't choke on it. Where'd you put it? There it is. Baking beans are getting close. They're starting to dry out. There's some still green down in there. We'll give them another week or 2, and then we'll be able to start pulling these. You can see some of them are dry down there, so we're getting there. When more of them are dry, we'll start pulling them out. And I wanted to show you another volunteer left over from last year. This is another potato plant, or 2, unless that's part of the same one. It might be. So this thing was flowering until about a week ago. So it hasn't started, it's just barely starting to die off maybe. Still another week or 2 before we need to pull that one. This looks like it's putting a little strain on my tying job here, but we have lots of Roma tomatoes. So we'll start pulling some of these off. There are a lot more on the plant. We're just starting to ripen up at the bottom of this plant as the leaves die off. And I'd say that's a decent haul for a few minutes of picking. And off of just 2 plants. Okay, one last step. Let's get a few of the pumpkins. Okay, so we'll just start cutting pumpkins from the side and fill up this one bushel here, which will only hold a handful. basically I'm picking the pumpkins that have the stem right in there that's already starting to go brown, drying out. The vines are drying out and the pumpkins are starting to cure. So not all of them have completely dried out yet as far as their stems go, so I'll just leave them out here a little longer. But I did get a good number in here, so basically 1 bushel full. There's more back in here. So, and that plant still looks fairly green even though the leaves are dying. So I'm gonna let it dry out some more before I pull these. I only found 1 pumpkin that was kind of soft on the bottom, so something was probably eating it. So I think pretty good off. These are pie pumpkins, so they're not really jack-o'-lantern type, but I guess some of them you can make some small jack-o'-lanterns out of. Don't know how many pumpkin pies we can eat, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have to do a pumpkin show, do something other than pumpkin pie. So we got a good number of pumpkins, decent number of Roma tomatoes, and we're probably about half full on a bushel of potatoes as well. So we're getting there. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, comment below. We'll see you with the next video. Next gardening video will probably be more harvest and maybe a few more fall plants going in. We'll see you soon.